Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Well, it was a strong speech, one of the quickest, actually, about 18 minutes, but some very strong language, especially without naming names of the United States. China has turned itself from a poor and closed country to an open one that has lifted over 850 million people out of poverty. That was the state councillor Wang Yi's message to the world as China celebrates 70 years since the founding of the People's Republic. China is more confident and capable, said Wang, and in an apparent rebuke to the US, he said Beijing would not be bullied.
Let me make it very clear. China is a country with a 5,000-year civilization, 1.4 billion hardworking and courageous people, and a vast land of 9.6 million square kilometers. China would not ever be cowed by threats or subdued by pressure. Facing rampant unilateralism, we should not just sit idly by.
Criticizing unilateralism and protectionism, Wang vowed China would uphold its core interests. Calling for the US to return to the Iran nuclear deal, Wang also urged a bilateral solution to the Kashmir situation and no change to its status quo. Development, he said, was the key to solve all global problems, and while China is about to eradicate poverty, he said Beijing is not trying to impose their model on anyone.
I want to conclude with a quote from President Xi Jinping. Our world is full of both hope and challenges. We should not give up our dreams just because the reality around us is too complicated. We should not stop pursuing our ideals just because they seem out of touch or out of reach. Let us work tirelessly to promote the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and work together to build a community with a shared future for mankind. Thank you.
And Mike, just 4 state councillors at the podium here behind me. He was actually sitting next to his counterpart from Kiribati. The Micronesian nation decided and signed papers to switch formal diplomatic relations from Taipei to Beijing on this day of his speech at the United Nations General Assembly. That followed, of course, the decision of the cabinet of the Solomon Islands in the Pacific to do the same just over a week ago, Mike.
And Nathan, Wang Yi's speech coming just a day after he said China will buy more U.S. goods. Tell us more about those comments on trade.
Yeah, you know, everyone here all week has been wanting to know what's next on the China-US trade war. And the feeling at the beginning of the week when US President Trump had his usual combative style was that perhaps even the next round of talks is in jeopardy. Since then, we saw, of course, a keynote speech by Wang Yi at the US-China Business Council and some words basically saying that China's ready to buy more US products. And he said that both sides have given waivers on certain products over the last few weeks. So there is some sort of hope. Now, all we have is really at the moment is the Americans are saying that October 10th in Washington is the date so far set. What's that, a week on Thursday? So we'll wait and see, but there's still hope despite the rhetoric. And in his speech, he was saying, look, you know, so long as it's with mutual respect, we can get through this.
Nathan King, live for us in New York.